This meeting is being recorded.
So now you should be able to hear me. Is everyone hearing me? Amazing. So Sue, welcome to this call. Laurie, welcome to the call. Chris, welcome to the call. I see we have some other people here. They are a little bit shy to not turn on the camera, which is fine. But you're always welcome. You look beautiful, I'm pretty sure. And I want to welcome you to this community call here in Saga. You can come up with all the time with your questions. I will give you some insights and feedbacks. Also tell you about the latest things we have in Saga, what is new, what is coming. So you get a lot of insights for that. And by the way, is there a question you have at the moment I can help you with? Feel super free to put it in the chat. And I'm very glad and honored you to answer you all the questions for that. How to the app for the mobile? Oh, that's a good question. So to fix that is like to be aware, this is not an app, it's a web application. So to fix that, it's pretty simple. You go on your mobile phone into your Saga, your Safari or Chrome or whatever you have, and put in the URL, which is called the saga.app/Fraser. And then below there you have a square with an arrow, and with this you can create your own app symbol. But let me show you where you can find this in the Saga app. Look at this, that's cool. So if you go in the Saga app and if you click on the library, let me change the language. So by the way, we have, this is the amount of, or the language we offer Saga. So if you have an international team, you see it's almost in every language. So if you go in the onboarding, set up Saga, and there, Laurie, it's like getting Saga on your home screen. You see that? So getting Saga on the home screen, and there's like access Saga on your smartphone. Tap the share icon. So this is like access Saga. Here's the share icon, and then it open up add to home screen. And out of this add to home screen, you can edit, and then magically it appears on your phone. So give me a feedback. Who of you already did this? Not yet? Okay. Grete, did you did it?
Hello, I entered the wrong place, so I just arrived. I was in another Zoom room. That's
okay,
today,
interesting.
so sorry. I didn't hear the start.
No worries, We just got started, and it was the question about, did you already put Saga on your phone, on your home screen? But the important part is that you go in and know where to find it. So Chris, even for you, and here, if you go in the onboarding, in the section of Setup Saga, and here in the Saga on your home screen, you see all the informations putting in there. I can highly recommend you to use that because I think it's so much better to have Saga on the phone. Even I'm an oldie, I still love to work on my computer, but if you are walking around and it's always good to have your contacts and your mobiles. And if someone is reaching out to you and said, hey, I want to have some information, and you have it on your phone, that's amazing because it makes life so much simpler. So therefore, I can highly recommend to put it in here. So that's the first thing. The other thing is like there are some updates, and I would to give you some updates which are, I think, pretty cool, and I'm pretty sure you will love it. First of all, are you aware of two things? If you click on the icon here and go to personal settings, you have a lot of things to set up. First of all, if you're using WhatsApp here, you can switch on this and then it's open automatically the WhatsApp app. Normally it would open up the WhatsApp web browser, but if it's open up the app, that's much easier and much better. So this is one thing I can recommend you, going to the profile picture and then turning this on. Hopefully everyone did it. The other thing is, which is super important, is this one. I put it here, here, here. Put on the notification, especially on your phone. So turn on notifications on your phone. Why is this so important? 3 things. First, anytime a lead is coming in Saga, you get an instant notification. Boom, you have a new lead. Why is this important? Because speed is king. The faster you answer a lead, the higher the chances to convert it. Because think about yourself. If you ask for an information and it takes you 2 weeks till you get the answer, you don't care at it anymore, right? But if you get the answer immediately, because now your problem, your pain is at the highest point, that's the best way you can do. So be fast, and therefore you have the notification. And can I tell you a secret? Are you open for secrets? Okay, amazing. So there will be new notifications coming up. So you will be get a notification for a lead. That's the one thing. But also you will get in future a notification for a follow-up. So if you cancel or if you schedule a follow-up, you will get a push notification which says like, Laurie, you should follow up with Chris. So you get actually a reminder. And also with upcoming events, you also get an reminder, so you never miss a community call again. So this is things that are coming. I think it should be there by end of the week. And another thing, which is like, if you did saw it yet, what we have, because we were asked so many times, we have an affiliate link. So if you have someone who said like, hey, I want to use that for my team, or I want to use it because a friend is asking me, you can send them here the affiliate program. So, and if they sign in with you, you have here some pretty nice bonuses, like for example, thinking about having exclusive live Zoom with Fraser, which is pretty cool. Or if you want to go very high, you are invited for an all-inclusive trip to Fraser's Dare to Dream and have a personal one-on-one with Fraser, which I think is pretty cool. At least I would run for this one. I love that. That is super valuable. So this is for the settings. Another thing when it comes to notification is, I think end of next week, what is coming is the connections to Google Calendar. So every time you schedule a follow-up, it's also in your Google Calendar. By the way, if you're excited with someone, please always write something in the chat. I love when it's a little bit more interactive, so I see you are live. That is something which is coming. And the interesting part here is, Russ, I'm coming to your question in a second. Look, if we go in contacts, and I have here for something Lucy Johnson, and I want to do a follow-up with her, so I go here to resources and I can share a script, right? I can share a script. I said, hey, Lucy, I've noticed you didn't have the chance to check it out, so I send it to her. Fine. So I sent her, because I can send it here on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever and wherever I want. That's the first thing. I can send her a message. So I sent her a message, and then immediately what I do is like, I go here and schedule a follow-up, because I said, hey, tomorrow I should ask her again. And then I could say like second follow-up. Done. So, and the cool part then is this appointment will appear in your Google Calendar. So it's nearly impossible to miss a follow-up, right? Of course, if you throw away your mobile, if you throw away your calendar, if you lock yourself out of the internet, then you are free again. But if you said, hey, the calendar is my boss, and what's in the calendar I'm doing, then it's perfect. So this will come. And the question also comes up, where do I find it? And I don't know if you looked at this. If you go to the dashboard and you go here, you see here's the task for today. And if I click here, I see, oh, view all. I can go in there and see, oh, what's the one thing I should do follow up? Where is this week? You see, oh, the second follow up here is Lucy. And I also see the ones which are not this week, which are in the future. So here I see, oh, that's a little bit more far away, right? So you see exactly what should I do? What did I miss? Where do I overdue? And what is happening this week? So personally, I would say like every person who's a little bit not structured suddenly get a very structure that helps him to not forget to follow up. And we know it from Fraser, the fortune is in the follow-up or in the follow-ups. So this is something. And additionally to that, in the contacts, I don't know if you saw that, because we have so many or more and more people liking LinkedIn. So you are now able to put in the LinkedIn profile. So you can reach out directly to LinkedIn. Of course, at the moment, it's still manually. So you have to copy paste the URL or the LinkedIn profile, but at least you can start doing the connection there. So I hope you like that. So Ross is asking, will we be able to create business or product info pages? They look really helpful in the help page. Yes, great observation. Yes. Yes, my English is horrible, I know. So the observation, but still it's great, Ross. So there are in development that you can create your own landing pages, but we see also the problem that the more you have to set up by yourself, the longer it takes to get started. And guys, I can tell you what I would recommend you to do is like only 2 things you should do. 3 things, sorry. If you are new, you should do 3 things. First, go here in prospect settings and put in your referral link. That's the most important thing. And put in your phone number and put in here a picture that you're also using on social media. Why? Because it's about recognition. So people should see and say, oh yeah, I saw this person before. So they need to have similarities. That's the first step. The second step is go to the library and go to the personal library and upload your best videos you have in terms of information about the product and information about the business. And please now give me a feedback, everyone who's in the call today. Do you have a video which explains the business? And do you have a video which explains your product? Yes, okay, cool. Yes, cool. Yes, okay, cool. Yes, it's post. Not put my... Okay, Lori, you don't have it, but you have somewhere a video about that. Perfect. Here I can highly recommend at the second step, just look, we do it together now, add content. So then you go on maybe YouTube, and then we are looking for the business presentation you have. I don't know, how does the business presentation look like? It looks like this could be the business presentation. So, okay, so I copy, I paste this here, you see, and then it's like money opportunity. something like this. And then I uploaded it, and then it's there. Did everyone saw? That's pretty simple. Even I'm, as a not tech person, is able to do so. So if I can do that, you can do this too, right? And write down, you just need 3 main videos. The one which is explaining the business, the other one which is explaining the product, and the last one would be some cool testimonials. If you have some testimonials, it's great. Why? Because most of us are lacking some trust. And if you have testimonials about your product, about how the business changed the life for someone else, you can use this one as a secret source of getting more trust. Because if you can tell someone, hey, here I have 50 different people talking about this product and how it changed their life, can you imagine that the confidence is rising and the trust in this product will go up? Think about, who of you had ever looked in Google Maps for a restaurant? And imagine you have 2 restaurants. One restaurant has 1 5-star review and the other restaurant has 1,262 reviews and the average is 4.8. Which are you going? To the one with the 5 stars or the one with the 1,362 4.8? Give me a feedback. Do you go to the with only 1 review, which might be fake, or the one with 1,362? Thank you. So because we all trust more than one person, right? Because one could always be fake. So therefore, if you have multiple testimonials, that's strong. And one of the biggest thing is, like, in social media, most people need 2 things. They need to like you and they need to trust you. If you have these both elements, they will buy. But if they don't like you and they don't trust you, you will have a hard time. And the cool part here is, if you look into Saga and go to the library, you have here the secret selling course from Fraser. And this course is really bomb. I don't know who already looked at it, but I would say, like, it's one of the best courses Fraser made. It's all about social media and how to win with social media. It's 3 days. Yes, it's 3 full days. No, it doesn't take you 3 days, but it's 3 days, but with very good information inside. And I think it brings for everyone a new perspective and everyone to the next level when it comes to social media and the bigger understanding. So this is what we have here. Any other question when it comes to setting? Yeah, that is number 2. I don't forget it. So, and the third step you should do is you go to contacts and you import your contact. Who of you already did it? Importing some contacts. Chris is my man. Great. Nice. Cool. So I did. Perfect, Glory. Entered it manually. Ooh, okay. Have tried it. Okay, I did. I manually. Okay. So first of all, if you have, my pro tip would be like, okay, Chris, so be careful. I don't want to be rude. I would do one thing. The first thing is, if you have mobile, I would import my contacts from my mobile. Why? Because in the mobile, there are the most valuable contacts, right? Because in mobile, there are people you know better than on Facebook, I would say. It's just a guess, but I think so. The next thing, if you have an Excel list or something, you can import these contacts. The last thing is, what I would recommend you is to import them from Instagram. Why? Because from Instagram you have the handle and you automatically are linked to Instagram. Now my hard part is I would not import the contacts from Facebook. And I can tell you, or let me tell you why, Chris. Don't be sad or mad at me. Why? Because at the moment, you're just importing the names. And that means like you have 20 Bob Miller in it, right? And then you have to go back to Facebook and say, which Bob Miller was it? So that's the step number one. Step number two is, or reason number two is, if someone has 4,000 friends, suddenly you have 5 or 4,000 names here in level 1. For some people, that's a little bit overwhelming. I would recommend you to import maximum 500. Because if you then start working and you reach out to 25 people a day, you need at least a whole month to get people from stage 1 to stage 2. And the structured sales process, it's always about bringing people from A to D. And if you have 5,000 people in it, it can be a little bit too much. So, but Chris doesn't have to be upset because there's an easy way to fix it. Did you see that we have here a new design with the new filters? So now the filtering is much better. So you can say like last interaction, and then you see the people with the last interaction on the top, which makes it so much easier for you. Or you see oldest interaction. These are the people which is a long time no talk to. So the other thing, you can label or select by labels, or you can go to more filters. And this is cool. Look, if you go to more filters, you see now import Facebook. So what Chris could do, he could select import from Facebook, and then he would see all the contacts he put in from Facebook. So he would change to table view. Of course, there's none. But imagine I would select it import from Facebook, but I take now a different one. These would be all the one which is imported from Facebook. So what would Chris do? He would click here. He would go there, select all leads. So all 59 from Facebook are selected. Then he goes to the 3 dots, this one. And then we look here, he would go to delete contacts. So this is how he could clean up his CRM system. If you, for example, because you were super excited, were importing like 5,000 Facebook friends, this is how you could get rid of the Facebook friends. Does everyone understand that if you see like, I have so many contacts in it, at some point I might recommend you do bulking. So just do import 100 and then 100 again, 100 again, to not be overwhelmed. Does that make sense for you guys? Okay, perfect. So this is the next thing I recommend you to do, to go into this section. Good. Any questions so far? So these are the 3 steps you should do. Step number 1 is setting up prospect settings. Step number 2 is bring in your best videos. And step number 3 is importing your contacts. Cool. Any questions? No questions. So then I am curious. What is the one thing you're struggling the most at the moment? Because here in the call, we are here to help. Consistency, okay. Prospecting, okay, cool. So consistency, that's a cool one. 80 asked the question, okay, being distracted, okay, yes. So being distracted, of course, that's a little bit hard to answer because it's like that can be multiple things. Why you are distracted because of your personal life? There are 2 things. The one thing is like what you can do is try to create an environment that helps you to be not distracted. So that's the first one. And therefore, what I do is like focusing hours. What I mean with this is like when I work for the 1 hour in Saga, I turn off all the notifications on my phone. I even put my phone to the side and just work on the on the computer. Why? Because our focus is the most valuable thing. And if we get distracted all the time, we lose so many opportunities. So that is step number one. The another step, what you can do is like use the challenges where you say like, hey, sometimes we don't see all the things, or we see so many shiny objects, and then we get lost because we could do this, 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 and this, right? And to focus down again, what is the most important things? I can say it's super easy to do one thing, go back in the Kanban view and just look at the numbers. Why? Because it's always like this. You start with this side, talking to your customers, because your customers and your promoters can lead you to new people because they are already engaged. Then you reach out to all these people here who already are interested in what you're offering. So keep the ball rolling. The next step is reaching out to these people who seems to be interested in what you're doing but didn't have the time. And then here it's all about, we have here Chris and also Sue. This is your section because it's about building relationships and ask the question. And this is pretty, yeah, it's to how to build relationship would be like, are you interested in the person on the other side? And it's all about how to build connection with people. And how do I build connection? If I'm there, if I'm present, and if I listen to people. And yes, I totally understand. On social media, it's much harder than in real life. That's the game. But, or for Chris, it's like ask the question. One thing is like, sometimes we ask the question too early. So for example, if I reach out to Chris, for example, and I will say, hey, Chris, I see we are friends on Facebook. By the way, are you interested in looking at the business opportunity from your phone? That's a little bit too, or at least in Europe, it's a little bit too much at the beginning. It would be different if I would just start to be a human. Would I say like, hey, Chris, nice to have you. Nice to meet you. We are connected on Facebook, but we didn't even get in touch. I want to change it. How are you? And then I open up the conversation because I'm really interested in him, right? So, yeah, Chris, because, or the other Chris Black, you said ATQs. Do you want to say some specific where you have the problem with?
Yeah,
just
sure.
If you want to. You don't have to.
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, asking the questions I've been contacting people. I downloaded my WhatsApp group onto Saga, and I'm doing 25 a day, just creating conversations. The problem I have with asking the question is when to ask the question. So I can bat the ball back and forward, like Fraser talks about the ping pong ball going back and forward. You know, what do you do? Where do you stay? Blah blah. And I'm always looking for that problem or that pain point or something. And I can't find that sweet spot where I can then present the solution to the problem with what it is that I do. That's the issue I have with asking questions.
Okay, so that's already a great observation. The cool part here is there is no perfect timing. That's the first one. And the solution to your question is just ask. And the point is, yeah, because the point is, if you never ask,
you don't know.
That's the wrong thing. The point is, and then it's about a bit of being feeling And the more often you start asking the question, you get the feedback, when was a good timing and when was a bad time.
Yep.
It's just
Yep.
like, the point is like, so when would be a good timing? Yes, for example, if you already have a running conversation and the person is answering pretty quickly, seems the ball is rolling. If
Yep.
he doesn't answer for a long time, it doesn't make sense. By the way, are you open to this? Which is like, bro, I didn't answer you for such a long time and now you send me the message. That's a little bit awkward.
Yep.
And also what you always can do is bring in, it's like bring in some kind of compliment. So there's a formula which is like acknowledge, compliment, ask. I really like this framework. First, you acknowledge something that you're doing. For example, hey, Chris, I see you're a single mom doing 2 jobs and stuff like that. I see how hard you're working and the values you have. I really like that.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, I see what you're doing and then I complimenting for what you're doing. Then I can ask the question, and they asking the question is like, hey, how do you manage at the moment with these 2 jobs, having some vacations with your kids? So I'm addressing, trying to get the feedback with, for example, with this pain point, or in your case, it could be something like, hey, I saw that you're doing also a side hustle. Let me ask you, why are you doing this kind of side hustle? And the interesting part in her case, it might be that she said, yeah, I need money. I say, well, and then I said, hey, thank you for this honesty. I really had the same situation. And the other thing is what I like is the feel, felt, found.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Hey, Chris, I feel you. This kind of struggle. I have a friend. She had the same issue, or I had the same issue 5 years ago, where the bills came in, and the cost was rising, and I was thinking like, hey, I need a 3rd job, or I need a 35 hour stay to manage my 4 jobs and my life. But then I found a better solution for me, because to cut a lot of costs. By the way, are you open to look at some of cutting costs?
Yeah, that helps. Yeah, you've nailed it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Chris, the other Chris Walker, because by the way, is that helpful for you guys if we go a little bit more into this, with this a little bit wider than just this is the button you have to click on Saga. But because Saga is the system, it helps you to get better with everything. And yeah. So, Grete, or Chris, you were first, so I would come to you first, sorry. It's like you said, like prospecting. Do you want to explain what you mean with prospecting? You have problems with prospecting? Where, at which, because prospecting is a huge topic. Are you typing, or you can just talk it if you want to? And if you don't want to talk, you just can say that and say like,
no, that's fine. No, I'm quite happy to talk. Basically, yeah, you've rather sort of kiboshed my plan, because I was going to use my Facebook contacts for prospecting, because that's far away my biggest
yes,
sort of social media presence, such
yes,
as it is, which isn't great. It's basically, I think, just getting over the, I suppose, the fear of rejection bit. And like some other people, I have been able to engage people in conversation, but then the conversation sort of runs out and you never really get the opportunity to ask the question. So I know it's a big field, but just need to try and refine it and overcome I suppose the fear of rejection and the objections that you're going to get, and obviously the fear of possibly losing some good friends.
Yeah, okay. So there are three thoughts coming up. First of is, can you really lose a good friend? Because if a good friend, it's something like who would say like, hey Chris, that's off. And if you are with you and just like, if you would be a good friend, I could always call you and say like, hey Chris, I have here something which I find it super interesting. I would love to do this with you. No stress if you don't like it, but I would love to get a feedback from you. Would you have a look at it and just give me your honest feedback? Period.
Okay.
If a good friend says, fuck off, I never will talk to you again, you might have a problem. Because I would question if this was really a good friend or not.
Yeah. Okay.
The next thing is try to get 5 no's a day.
Yeah, I get that.
And the point is like the moment when you try to get 5 no's, it's hard to get them. Because the point here, because if someone is not responding, that's not a no. That's just, that's not a no. That's your interpretation. Because think about someone stole his phone, so he was not able to answer you, but he was super interested. But in your mind, it's like, oh, this guy doesn't like me, so he will not respond anymore. No, maybe it was stolen. We don't know. And you only know if they say no. And what does no mean? Not yet or not enough information.
Or just not interested.
Just
Surely.
not interested yet. Because
not everybody's going to be interested, though. Not everybody's going to be interested.
Yes.
Even at,
It would be strange. Imagine everyone would be interested in your product. You would fly helicopter. And that's hard. So you need a helicopter landing platform and all this stuff. That's really bothering. So be happy that not everyone is interested in this. No, that's the normal game. Not everything is for everybody. And
sure.
the point here is like what my mindset frame is like sooner or later everyone will be dead, I'm asking. So it doesn't care. Sooner or later, even I'm dead and nobody cares. So the point is like, you will realize a no doesn't change nothing in the world, nothing. And even we always think like, oh, if I get one no, it will be in the television and they will talk bad about me. That would be the best what could happen to you, because then you would be famous and then your social media would blow up. So I totally understand you. Don't get me wrong, that we all have this fear of rejection because every one of us wants to be loved. So we don't want to be hated, but to become successful, and that is a book which I really like is from I think your countryman. It's from Stephen Bartlett, the 33 tips of blah, blah, blah of an entrepreneur. He has an amazing podcast. It's called The Diary of a CEO. And he said in marketing, you have to piss people off. Otherwise, you're not recognizable on social media because everyone is loud outside. And the point is, the moment you stand for something, you automatically also will get some hate. And he said, you have to stand for something and you have to piss people off, because if you piss 50% off, 20% will love you and they will buy everything you do. But if you want to be liked by everyone, nobody likes you at the end because you're standing for nothing. So that's a little bit the tricky part. Another thing what you can do is, which is a little bit more long term, if you use on Facebook, you have to be super active in groups.
Yeah.
Everyone should be seeing your name with good content. So they see, hey, Chris is always bringing in very cool content. He's really the super nicest guy in our community here. So become the #1 community leader, because then you also get a trust person. And yes, the point is, you could say like, yeah, but this is work. They would say,
Yeah, sure.
that's the bad part. Better work. And the point is, it's the same with the other Chris. The moment you start communicating more, you get better, and then you will find out to do that. So how annoying to what do you mean? Is
Go compare.
Yeah, you're talking about being unliked, and there's I don't know if it's in other countries, but in the UK there's a Go Compare advert, and the guy is just so annoying, but he has got one of the best and most successful companies in the world, and I can't stand him. I hate it, but I go to Go Compare to compare for holidays or car insurance or whatever, but it's a nightmare. It's so annoying, but it works.
Exactly. That's so I don't know this one, but that is a great example. Hey, Daniela, that's a very great example about you hate this guy, but you still go there because the service is good and something like that. So that's
yeah,
super
he
cool.
annoys you. Yeah, he pisses you off. Yeah,
that's crazy. That's good. I like that. So, Grete, I'm just struggling in getting responses on my post when I ask. Can you give me feedback? What do you ask?
It can be everything from if I have posted something about my products, what do you drink, for example? Do you have your morning routine? What's your morning routine? How do you start your day? And but I think it's because I'm not consistent enough, me either. I don't do it. Of course, obviously not in the right way, because they're not answering me. I have got one answer for some days ago, and I was happy. But I have got the thumbs up and hearts and that kind.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
So, two things. When do people answer or commenting on post? When they feel seen. Point. They have to feel a connection. So how do you get more comments? It's super easy when you do more comments. Why? The point is like, yeah, why should I put in something? Because I have two things. I have to have some kind of emotionally connection to you. If you say something which is also important for me, then it's cool. So I can give you, let me find this for you, because that might be helpful for you, everyone. Because I had this with a friend we were looking at. And here is an interesting question. I don't know if that helps you. The one thing is like, you should answer these questions, because these questions are super powerful. And I can get you something like, if you don't answer these questions correctly, you might have a problem because you don't know who you're talking to. So the first one is, you have a clear customer profile, which is like, without a crystal target, you don't know who you're talking to. So Grete, my first question would be like, whom do you talking to? That's step number one. The next thing is, there are some great questions, is like, post regularly about a problem. So do you know the pain these people have? Do you know about what keeps them up at night? What obstacle stands in their way from their current situation to the desired state? These questions are super important. And I know it's a little bit hard, But the point is like, you can copy this, put it in ChatGPT and say, help me to find my ideal customer profile. Ask me all the questions you need to know from me. And then you answer it from the bottom of your heart. And then you will get, I think, a more clear picture. And then your next post should be more personally. You have to put in something where people can relate to, where you could say like, hey guys, you put in this and say, hey, I just found out that I was not really showing myself. Here are 2 things you don't know, and please, or 4 things you don't know, and comment in the post what things do you like from me the most. So what you encourage people is to start engaging and writing some stuff about you, which is more personally. To be honest, if you do a post something like, hey, this is the water I'm drinking every day, that screams like, you want to sell me something, and nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. The point, if you start saying like, hey, I'm struggling, I don't know. So you can say like, I'm struggling with my health at the moment. I feel super exhausted because if I want to go up the stairs, I feel bad. If I look in the mirror, I see my stomach's getting bigger and stuff like that. And at the moment, I really have a hard time to actually liking myself. So that is the post where you are very vulnerable. And this is where people are able to connect with you. Nobody likes the "my life is perfect" posts. Why? Because all our lives is not perfect. And if we claim that our life is perfect, that's fucking boring. I didn't say that. That's ducking boring. So the point here is you have to be more personal. And you have to build relationships and connections. And that is when, do you reach out to people when they give you a thumb up? That's super rude. If someone sends a heart or a thumb up, you should immediately send them, hey, Steve, thank you for liking my post. By the way, how are you? Or if you have the post about something, I said, thank you for liking my post. By the way, are you also struggling with sleep at the moment? This is how we start a conversation. So if I like a post, something must be there. That's an invitation to ask me. This is what we guys have to learn in a bar. When a woman looks like this and putting something in her hair and playing around and smiles at you, that might be a sign we could go there. It will not so often happen that they put up a sign, hey, yes, you in the corner, you can come to me. We would love to do that, that this would happen, but I think we all men would die lonely when we wait for this. So these smaller signs are enough for this kind of invitations to start having a conversation. The point is like, why should I write a comment when I don't get a feedback if I put in a like? And I don't want to be rude. I just want to try to help you to select. No, we have to be more transactional. If someone is nice to you, or if you want that people are nice to you, go out and comment on their posts and say, hey, I really like this. Be the first one that everyone says like, I like this person because she's always so nice to me. This will come back. So Daniela puts also her wisdom inside there. If you want to talk to everyone, you talk to no one or talk to anyone. Yeah, that's yes, that's really crazy. We really forgot about how to communicate in this time a bit. Because of course it's a little bit awkward because we don't feel the energy of the people, but it's still the same. Everyone wants to be seen, and the moment you put in a little bit more effort to see people, look, 85% of all humans outside are children. They just look old. right? What I mean with this is like everyone just want to be loved and striving for love, want to be seen, has some trauma to get over it, and everyone is running behind something and has his demons. And at the end, we are all connected humans and we all want to be loved and want to be in peace. And if you give people a little more attention, they will likely you much more. The problem is if we just post something like this, that is like me screaming for attention. Do it the other way around. Yes, yes, that's the horrible part. What's always coming up. We get so many messages. Hey, I like your profile. You are a perfect fit for my team. Would you like to join my team? Nobody's interested in me. They are just interested in things. It's a perfect pitch to do a counter pitch and ask, hey, do you like sending out messages to strangers? I don't know you, you don't know me. Tell me a little bit more about you. How are you? When did you start this business? Do you like it? Are you successful with this? So that's the perfect starter to have a conversation with them. Because I cannot imagine this is working, and this must be super frustrating. Sending out 100 messages a day to strangers without even, I don't answer them at all. Because they are just like, well, but you can use it as a counter pitch. Any more questions? Is that some kind of help for you? Because we went a little bit off off for that, but I have another one for you. So Grete, for you, it's like so where is it? So for better scripting. So you see my screen? Grete, by example, what kind of business are you doing?
Health and wellness.
Health and wellness. So look what we have here for you. It's for everyone, so it's not only for Kate. So here is the script designer. So here you can do scripts and put them into Saga. So we can say like, hey, you want to talk to people with warm contact. Oh, no, we do reacted on a story. Yes. So 3, reacted on the story. I'm curious. So great. It's about the business or the product. It's about the product. So, and then we select what is your product. It is health and wellness, let us say drink, which helps people with, what does it help with?
Energy, for example, or better sleep.
Okay, so perfect. So, and the next thing is you can decide, should it be direct, casual, warm, and empathetic? So we take 2, warm and empathetic. Okay. So what it does it now is like so here. So here, thanks for checking out my stories the other day. I'm glad you caught it out. Is there something that made you a big difference for you? How have you been lately? Perfect. You see, I don't pitch on something, but I open up for a conversation. Now she's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then here is like, that's the perfect one. You don't go into it and pitching the product. But if you maybe put something about this into the story, you can say, hey, I saw you reacted on my story about the wellness drink. Thanks for that. And then you can say, like, hey, how are you feeling this day, energy-wise and sleep-wise? So they should you addressing directly the problem. So then you have started the conversation. You ask them about something and say, hey, that makes sense. I have those moments too. What's your biggest challenge lately with more energy or getting sleep? We want to understand the problem. So, and we don't present something, so we say like, hey, thanks for sharing that with me. Now, Chris, this is the best timing to ask the question. Would you be open to checking out something that's been really helpful for me and others I know? So 3 questions or 3 conversations, and then it's time to ask. Do you see? It's kind of natural conversation, right? I will send this in the chat. Everyone can use it for himself. And how to use that we have to show too. So if you go in here, you go whatever account, then everyone should see that. You go to resources, and then you can go here, manage your scripts. Here, manage your scripts, and then I can add a script. I just took the first one. I can do it. So it's just like I have to stop it because it does it for me. So hey, name, copy. Now I share it again. Here, you just copy paste it. Paste it, hey, boom. And that should be in connecting, and it's about the product, and I save it. And now, next time you go here and you said start journey, share script, you see it here. Here it is. Was it too fast, or is everyone understanding it? Cool. Guys, yes, I hope that was helpful for you. Is there any question I can help you with? You can click on the ChatGPT prompt. That's a special prompt. We trained him on how to use Saga. You can use it as many times as you want, and it's there to help you to make your scripting better. Any more questions? Cool. So I hope I see you next week. Coming up with some results would be cool to see, and giving some feedback. Chris, I would love to get some feedback. Greta, I would love to hear this. Yes, I did some posts, I did some things, and people start to reacting. So I would love to hear that.
Sasha, one question if I can.
Yes.
Further up in the chat, you actually went through the ideal customer profile
Yes.
questions, which look really useful. Are they available anywhere on Saga, or
no?
I know this is being recorded. So can we get?
If you scroll up in the chat,
yeah,
and then you could copy paste them. I can.
Okay.
Try to copy.
So
wait a second.
Yeah.
Copy them again and put it here. Ah, it's too long.
Yeah.
Here's the number 1. And here is number 2.
If you click the 3 little dots next to the message, you can copy the individual
You can
message.
save the whole chat. Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually save the whole chat as well. Yeah.
So that's actually probably a better way to go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
Right.
So
Don't know where it
I
saves it
enjoyed
though,
it.
mind you.
Hopefully you take some value out of it, and I see you next week again.
Okay.
Cool. Have a great day, great evening.
Bye.
Bye bye.